got your feeds?
Yeah.
Okay, super. Well, welcome everyone here to Olympic Plaza. Welcome to this place where people have been gathering for thousands of years. Thank you for not disrupting. We'll give your time later. Let these folks get their story, please. They've got a job to do. If you don't mind, being respectful of people's jobs. Thank you. All right, so thank you for joining us here at Olympic Plaza, one of Calgary's great gathering places on this beautiful summer day to talk about the winter. I think you can feel that Chinook breeze right now, and today I am very excited to announce something we're calling Chinook Blast, Calgary's midwinter roundup. This is a new winter festival for Calgary, building on extraordinary things that happen here in the winter, creating a whole new tourism opportunity, as well as a chance for Calgarians to celebrate. Chinook Blast will bring together more than 55 partners, including performers, athletes, entertainers, and countless people from across Calgary's arts, culture, music, and sports scene to create a 6-week blast of inspiring and heartwarming events. There are many, many partners involved in this, but today I'm joined by Jennifer Rempel, wherever Jennifer is. Everyone's wearing masks, so I can't see who's who. Jennifer Rempel, the president of the Calgary Downtown Association. Congratulations on your new role. Looking forward to working with you. One of the partners that I just mentioned. We're hard at work behind the scenes, looking for more partners, establishing funding from the provincial and federal governments, and getting the word out to performers and supporters, but things are moving fast. So when we look at Calgary's tourism industry, we see a drop-off in the winter, particularly in hotel room bookings and in visitors coming to the city, and that tends to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the thing. Calgary's awesome in the winter in relation to many, many places across the country. And Calgary was named the best place to live in the entire Western Hemisphere, and the experts over at The Economist know about the weather. Chinook Blast is a real opportunity for Calgarians to send a message to those wanting to visit our city that it's just as great in those short winter days and those long winter nights as it is on these long summer days. We've been proving that for so long, with extraordinary things happening here in the winter, and it's time to let the world know about those. This is going to be a diverse festival. Voices from every corner of life will be heard, and attendees will experience viewpoints and ideas and emotions of Calgarians and visiting artists and sports people from all over the world. So think about all the stuff that will happen. The Glow Festival, Block Heater, our winter sports and World Cup events, the Ethnic Festival, Chinese New Year, the High Performance Rodeo. The early sunset makes the exciting evenings even longer. And I believe that this festival is exactly the shot in the arm that our tourism, arts, and hospitality industries need in order to continue to grow, in order to continue to support thousands of jobs in Calgary, while giving artists and performers a chance to showcase their talents to the world. COVID's been tough. The statistics are hard to even look at. We've had a reduction in staffing levels of more than 50% over the tourism industry. But we all know the value, financial and for quality of life, for a healthy arts, culture, and tourism industry. So with that in mind, this is exactly the right moment to announce something Calgarians and those working in the field can get excited about. Now let's be honest, we don't know what the world is going to look like re-COVID in January 2021. Of course, the more we keep our physical distance, the more we do our hygiene, and the more we wear masks, the more likely we are to have a great festival in 21. But public safety will remain the very first priority the organizers and board are going to be considering when getting ready to roll out the festival. And you know what? We need something to look forward to. I had fun this weekend. I met with some friends in their backyard, big backyard, and we had a physically distanced opportunity to watch Folk Fest at home. There was even a snow cone truck and mini donuts. But that said, as much fun as that was, and as much fun as all these Zoom and Microsoft Teams calls are, we want to see people as well. So we want to tell people that the idea of Chinook Blast, I hope, will convince a few more people to mask up so we can keep opening up. It really gets me excited to think about watching freestyle skiing in the morning, seeing a new Canadian play at a matinee, taking in a great concert in the evening. And even if we're still in a COVID-restricted place, we will find ways to come together and celebrate the winter here in Calgary with the backdrop of this great city and our beautiful winter landscapes. It's an opportunity for Calgary to rise up, to celebrate all the things that make this such an interesting and incredible place. So in 2021, we will get to experience the first Chinook Blast. And I know that this will be a tradition for Calgarians for many generations to come. So with that, let's get to questions.
What are your hopes that COVID will just be a bad thing?
You know, we don't know. We don't know. But we can't stop the work of running the city and can't stop the work of building up tourism. So it might be that the first Chinook Blast will look a little different. It'll be more socially distanced. It'll be a little more virtual. That could be. My dream is that we're going to have great events where people can go to concerts. Might look a little different, but you know what? We're going to start now, and we're going to build on Chinook Blast so that it becomes the winter equivalent, our winter rodeo, the winter equivalent to the summer tourism season here.
And that'll be really cool too if everything is virtual. We could sort of kickstart some sort of winter tourism into the city of Calgary.
You know, that's just it, because when you think about what happens here in the winter, that's when our arts and culture and sports scenes go wild. You know, we have world championships and world cups and all these winter sports. We have all of the theater and arts and music companies in full swing. And then in addition to that, we've got the High Performance Rodeo, which I think is the best festival of independent theater in the world. We've got Block Theater showcasing independent music acts as folk festival in the winter, basically. We've got the Glow Festival, which has been growing and growing and has become a remarkable way of bringing people downtown and hanging out on the street even in the winter. And so bringing all of that together under this umbrella is really about getting people excited about stuff that's already going on and using that as an opportunity to springboard even more stuff happening.
Mayor, you probably remember Calgary used to have a winter festival.
Yes.
What do you think has changed that will make this have more potential success?
You know, after the 1988 Olympics, Calgary experimented with a bit of a winter festival, but it was kind of a standalone event. And the difference here with Chinook Blast is it really is an amalgamation of a bunch of great stuff that's happening already and using that as a springboard to build more things. And I think that's what gets really exciting. So I'll give you an example. Everyone knows I'm a huge theater fan. And the High Performance Rodeo is this incredibly well-curated festival. And last year they sold out every show, pretty much, but in very small venues. And I think people who know about it love it. Other people, maybe less so. And so this is an opportunity for us to cast a light on a lot of that stuff as well. You know, the High Performance Rodeo should be the Sundance of theater, and people around the world should know about it and come to it, in addition to the great performers. You know, I've been to a bunch of World Cup and World Championship events in winter sport where there just aren't very many people there. And so this is an opportunity to use the umbrella to bring people together and increase what's already going on, and then give people creative ideas of building new things as well.
So the arts itself has really taken a terrible blow, and you know a lot of people are working, doing other things to get by. But would this be? Talk about how this would help sort of restart all of the arts, theater, and music and stuff like that.
So we've been working on this project. Well, I've been dreaming about it for a few years now, and then finally, this remarkable group got together with all the different partners, chaired by Franca Galtieri, who also works in my office, so I got a little bit of a kick in the butt to keep going on it. But the reason that it really matters now is that the arts, culture, and hospitality industries have been incredibly hard hit by COVID. And in order for them to come back, in order for people to come back and stay in hotels, in order for artists to be able to perform, they need a bit of a shot in the arm. And so this is a relatively low-cost way of bringing this stuff together and giving them that shot in the arm. Anyone else on this? I literally can't hear you.
Are you worried about it becoming maybe ironic name and maybe bringing out a cold snap?
That's a great question. I know that the team has been fighting a lot about the name. I will tell you, I preferred Snowdio, but I was the only one who thought that was clever. So the idea here is it's 6 weeks. So during those 6 weeks, we're gonna have some cold weather, we're gonna have some Chinooks, we'll probably have pretty standard weather for the winter, which is not as cold as people across the country think it is. And so I think that's awesome. And hey, if we're waiting for a Chinook, we'll just wait for that blast. All right, any other questions, news of the day?
Just given that there might be a decision or final amendments on the mask thing over the next couple of days, you mentioned earlier this morning that you think that there might be a motion arising calling for you to write a letter. What possible changes could we see to the mask bylaw?
I don't think we'll see very many changes to the mask bylaw other than a couple of technical things that we needed to fix that have come up over the last few days. One of the biggest issues, however, that was raised by council last week is what about schools? And, you know, when I heard the school reopening plan, it felt to me a little bit like masking in schools was being a bit dismissed out of hand. I don't think that is actually the case. I've spent some time having conversations with folks from the provincial government as well as in the school boards. And it seems they're really looking at this closely, looking to see if there's going to be an age differential. I believe personally that we should be wearing masks in schools, particularly in the hallways, coming in and coming out of the schools. You know, my niece goes to Sir Winston Churchill High School, nearly 3,000 students, 4-meter wide hallways. You just can't keep physical distance. It's not possible. We're not the first ones in the world to do this. We've seen great examples from everywhere from Taiwan, where they have universal masking in schools, to Denmark, where they manage it with class sizes and smaller sizes, to jurisdictions where we ask the students to wear masks in public areas, but they can take them off when they're at their desk. So there's a lot of things to be worked on here, and the city has only a very blunt tool. We ban it or we don't ban it. And so I'm really looking forward to a good plan from the government of Alberta and from the boards of education on what they're going to do about it. However, I do believe that we have the ability to ban it if we need to. However, I don't think that's a step we should take today.
There are a number of municipalities that are voting on that issue differently. So why do you think the province has done something against the approach?
Why the province has been reluctant to just say? Well, you know, we have to be fair to the provincial government. They have a very, very different situation in central Alberta than they do in Calgary, than they do in southern Alberta. So even in Edmonton, my understanding is that Edmonton will likely move towards what we were suggesting in Calgary last week, which is do it on transit first and then create a system where you can make it more prevalent if in fact the numbers get worse. The issue is the numbers are really bad in Calgary. They're really bad. It's no joke that we doubled in 1 week, which is about the fastest velocity we had in April. And so if we double this week again, and we double next week again, then we will have the same number of cases we had at the height of the lockdown. So council felt it was important here in Calgary to move forward, but I have talked to people, mayors in cities where they have very few cases, in cities where they are worried about their rate of trajectory, and every mayor I've talked to in Alberta is planning on at least putting into place a phased system so that if their numbers get bad, they'll be able to move quickly.
Mayor, could you announce Chinook blast en français? Announce Chinook blast en français.
Oh, en français. Oui. C'est vraiment mon plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui, d'annoncer un nouveau festival pour Calgary pour l'hiver. C'est mon plaisir d'annoncer le Chinook Blast. Ce sera un grand festival touristique pour la ville, et c'est vraiment une grande chose pour les industries d'hospitalité, du tourisme, des arts et des sports. All right, thank you everybody.